This wet paper tissue made me stop being an incel. The crunchy sound this guy's eggshell bones would make. Become invested in self-insert fix. Congratulations, my guy, you've become YN. Season 2 obliterated the second guy. I have stumbled upon a treasure trove that I wanted to take a moment and share with you real quick. So at this point, I think practically everyone and their mother can agree that this man right here is beautiful, gorgeous, radiant, divine. A hearty congratulations to Viktor from Arcane for taking back the Twink of the Year crown. But what's really tickled me is the fact that this realization of Viktor's aura has hit some straight guys hard. There are a handful of posts from 4chan by men who are losing their minds over Viktor that have gained a lot of traction in the Arcane fandom. Granted, these posts are about Season 1 Viktor. I don't even know what these guys are thinking about Season 2 Viktor at this point. It's intriguing to take a look at these guys' thoughts, to say the least. Viktor's just that powerful. Who would have thought? Definitely not me. Just as a warning, they do kind of have that 4chan funk on them, so just keep that in mind. So without further ado, let's take a look at these posts, shall we? Start watching a new show with my roommates. Was suspicious of the concept at first, but damn, it's actually got an interesting premise and gorgeous art, well written and everything. Second episode in, already invested, when in the middle of a scene, two of my roommates burst out laughing and the third one yells, "See? Told you." He hits pause. New character that was just introduced looks exactly like me, down to the haircut. We've got a Viktor lookalike here, supposedly. Show remains paused until they're done laughing about how the does that even happen. Never been more baffled by something in my life, but try to act normal despite of seeing my own goddamn face on an animated screen. Continue watching with them and do my best to just seem nonchalant about it. Internally get mildly obsessed with this little guy. Never read fanfiction in my life, but look some up purely out of curiosity and satisfy some weird craving I've never had before. Holy shit, there's so much porn. Some of it's incredibly sweet and gentle, some deeply f***ed up. Apparently doing both in the same story is a whole genre of fanfiction. There's women out there who would yearn to deeply brutalize, comfort, or do both to this sad, mad scientist shrimp guy who looks exactly like me. Become invested in self-insert fix. Congratulations, my guy, you've become YN. There's girls writing themselves into the world of the show for no other reason than to this sad little man who looks like me. Hey now, that's not the only reason. Sometimes you just want to destroy the world with said sad mad scientist as a treat. It truly, deeply, viscerally sinks in for me that the true reason I can't get laid is because of my personality. There's a comment here. So in conclusion, there's an above zero chance that there's a guy out there IRL who looks exactly like Viktor, but the bad news is it's a 4chan dude. Is it worth it? I'll let you be the judge of that. Next post. Finally get around to watching Arcane. Wow, that's actually really good. Beautiful visuals, interesting world building and storytelling, fun characters. This guy shows up. Wow, I want to put my dick in his mouth. Bro, what? Push that thought down and try to focus. Have a thought of grabbing a handful of his hair and pushing his head down. Stop that. There's an interesting story going on. Alas, I cannot. Keep having to rewatch scenes with him in it because I can't focus on anything else. Keep rewatching scenes without him in it because I no longer have interest. Vague background awareness of an interesting story going on in there. Cannot focus thinking about the crunchy sound this guy's eggshell bones would make. Actually jack off to episode 8 several times. I'm not even gay. This guy looks like he smells like tobacco smoke residue, apple cider vinegar, and why? I want to this guy so bad. Oh, there's a lot to unpack here. Maybe we shouldn't unpack it. Maybe we should just put a latch on it and leave it be. The crunchy sound this guy's eggshell bones would make is certainly an eyebrow raiser. This guy looks like he smells like tobacco smoke residue, apple cider vinegar, and I really need this guy's takes on Season 2 Viktor in particular. Like, what sort of unhinged brainworms are just wiggling around in there? Next post. This wet paper tissue made me stop being an incel? Oh? Last December, watch Arcane with my roommates for some reason. This f***ing guy shows up on screen with my goddamn face on him. An ugly, scrawny what in the f***ing shit? A second Viktor doppelganger has arrived at the station. Ends up mildly obsessed with the character. Why the f*** does he look like me? Why is there so much fan art and fanfiction? Why the f*** is there so much of them? Why do I get no girls? I wonder. Start dissecting this shit with the obsessive drive normally unreachable to people with no autism, or OCD in my case. From gestures and speech patterns to looking up these shows' character designers and their principles, end up reading about psychology of degenerative illnesses and the history of Russian revolutions. Start to suspect that this isn't a useful way to spend my time. Teetering between getting nowhere and falling into cringe. Decide to tightrope this shit nonetheless. Yeah, buddy, I think the tightrope's been snip-snipped at this point. Buy a few collared shirts, nothing fancy, but understated enough to work as casual wear. Take a new pic and rewrite my Tinder profile with zero intention to seem attractive or confident. Write the profile of the most pathetic, wet paper rag of a man, list the weird shit I'd been reading too. A girl I hadn't talked to before messages to ask me about the weird medical shit I'd been reading. Oh fuck. And human willpower keeps me from replying something that I normally would to a question I would not normally be asked. Must maintain brittle ragman mode just to see what happens. Tightrope between honesty and cringe. Vaguely explain that I'm not sick or anything, but there's issues in my family and I've always been fragile, and knowing more about things helps. Sound as pathetic, passive, and submissive as possible. Physically cringe so hard while typing this that I'm doing a phlegm response. Force myself to press send nonetheless in the name of science. The girl actually replies. She says that's cool and interesting, talks about how her mom is a nurse and how people should read more into their free time. Keep forcing myself to respond in the most pathetically wimpy way possible. She keeps replying for some reason. Keep talking with her like this. She keeps telling me about her day and I do mine. She keeps mentioning one coffee shop that I haven't been to, and one day asks if I'd like to meet there. Drop my phone as I experience full system shutdown for a solid 35 minutes. Never gotten a date with a girl, and now one asked me out. So this guy channeled Viktor so hard to the point where his body was rejecting it that a girl actually asked him out. Inconceivable! The power Viktor has! Regain coherence for long enough to see she sent another message saying it's fine if I don't want to, etc. Reply that I do, force myself to disclose my harrowing experience of the past 40 minutes. She calls this cute. Says she looks forward to meeting up. Go on a date with her, she seems excited to be there. I try to keep the mannerisms I've learned to mimic to a minimum, but realize I have no better ones to go back to. Saying that's mortifying to admit to feels easier than thinking of something normal to say. He's literally role-playing as Viktor on this date to keep himself as composed as possible. Like, not gonna lie, it's very common for people to take on certain traits or attributes from fictional characters or celebrities in social settings in order to feel more confident, more in control, but this guy, I think, has taken it up a notch and has locked in to becoming Viktor in order to make this date work. He has committed to the bit. Tell her I'm glad she doesn't seem to be bothered by the fact that I look just as much like a drowned rat IRL too. She laughs and says that's not true. I don't look bad at all. My dude, you've become a little meow meow. A lot of girls are into that. For his date's sake, I hope he came clean, but this was a ride. Viktor's saving men from becoming incels. He really is our Lord and Savior. We've got some comments on Twitter here. I would have never guessed straight men having their lives flipped by Viktor Arcane was a whole genre of 4chan, yet here we are. Viktor revolutionizing manhood, one incel at a time. It's actually insane to see men realize that women do not actually only care about stereotypical hypermasculine dominant men, and to find out that there are actually other forms of attractiveness, and it is entirely subjective. Viktor isn't even bad looking either. He certainly isn't. Kinda need a face reveal of the Viktor lookalike, buddy, no. I hope the first guy got his life together, but damn, I hope he has pics uploaded because I'm trying to see something. Need to be a fly on the wall for guy 1 and guy 2 meeting. Oh my god! This is so funny, but I do worry about bro who seemingly is forcing himself to act kind of different for a girl and not really for himself. Yeah, same. I'm hoping it ended with more of an it's okay to be vulnerable with other people thing, like how he admitted to her how he had a disbelieving shutdown for 30 minutes when she asked him out, and she thought it was cute versus lying about himself. Yeah, no, you gotta have that honesty present. For your sake and hers at the end of the day. Man discovers women like personality instead of washed up alpha podcaster stereotypes. There is genuinely nothing funnier to me than 4chan incels discovering their latent homosexuality and green texting about it, all bewildered and horny. I need to know if the Viktor lookalike managed to change his ways. Season 2 obliterated the second guy. Man discovers internet blorbo, finds fanfiction about said blorbo, reads said fanfiction, and is forever changed? What were your thoughts on these posts? Are you a big Viktor fan? After season 2, do you think we're gonna be seeing a lot more of this stuff come out of the woodwork? Can Viktor save us from the epidemic of incels and alpha podcaster dude bros? Stay tuned to find out. As always, if you'd like to see more fandom and fan culture-esque videos from yours truly, then feel free to subscribe. And if you'd like to check out my fanfiction recommendation list with over 1,000 fanfics on there, as well as watch exclusive videos not on the channel, then check out my Patreon or YouTube memberships. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! 안녕!